on what happened in Rosewood. I never recall no class them telling us like, hey, letting us know there ain't no such thing as no Indians. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, all them tribes that's still here. You know what I'm saying? We did not get rid of the tribes. Y'all still here. We just reclassified y'all as African Americans and Latin Americans. Y'all ain't tell us that, G. Niggas had to go within and find that out on their own, and then go back and double check, and then go back and look up other shit and be like, oh, this what y'all hid. That's how that came out. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, though. You feel me? You know, you had motherfuckers not liking theyself around here. You see what I'm saying? For real, though. Niggas wasn't liking theyself. We getting back, though. You know, our goddesses going back naturally. Guys embracing who they are naturally. We getting back to embracing how we came here, man. You know, everybody ain't gonna have the perfect frame, the perfect smile, the perfect conversation, being there on the same. But we all got our gifts that when we combine them, it makes it a beautiful situation. That's all it is. That's true freedom. That was taken from us. All right, so they using these gods in HollyWeird to take these freedoms from you. But the people they using, with all due respect, I gotta tell that story a little bit because they take them on this ride. See what I'm saying? They take them on this ride. And that's why I just went into what we wasn't taught. Because guess what? Most of them go through the same shit. They wasn't taught this. Other than the ones that were, because some of the people in Hollywood, not all of them, but some of them were sex trafficked into Hollywood. Some of them were kidnapped into Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? Some of these Hollywood celebrities. I'm just being honest. Like, they was kidnapped as kids. You know what I'm saying? And then they changed their names and all type of shit. Killed the real parents off, changed the names of the kids. Man, this shit get deep. Then they grew up on TV and later went on to be motherfucking goddamn it Britney Spears or some shit. You like, damn. You thinking that Britney a regular person with regular parents. They didn't even know they kidnapped their ass at 3, killed their real parents, and motherfucking raised their ass on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, bitch, it's a sick, that's sadistic. You know what I'm saying? Now it's coming out that a lot of people wearing these masks. Yeah, they do be wearing masks, but you got people that wear masks. You got people that act like they people. You got clones, though. And then you got people in the MK Ultra. You got to know the difference. It's a difference. But before we get there, we on the ride right now. How do they get there? So when they sending these programs at these individuals, definitely like actors and actresses and, you know, artists, right? They start sending, and they do the same thing with the athletes too. Like, because I told you, majority of these NBA athletes are Mach 5 synthetic robots. So you got athletes they look like they going number 1. All right. They put entities in. They put entities inside of these athletes, right? Then kill that athlete off. Then replicate that athlete into a robotoid, synthetic Mach 5 robotoid form. Put the athlete's conscious in there, but put the entity's conscious in there with the athlete. So that way, when the robot talking in interviews, you can still get the feeling that that's LeBron James. That's this person. That's this person. That's this person. Although LeBron is through and through Mach 5 synthetic robot. But some of them get actually replaced and they get robot replicas. And then they get moved out the way and they use the robot replica because you already in love with this athlete name. Alright? But with the artists and like the actors, they like to put them on the MK Ultra, or they like to flat out, because they're not doing an athletic, you know, they're not doing an athletic. Remember that. So they like to put them on the MK Ultra and control the mind more, or flat out just kill them and just clone them and replace them. All right. So the thing is, the conscious transfer part is what you got to understand. Your conscious is your personality, is everything. So you got to understand that they can splice your consciousness and put some of your consciousness into a separate entity, to a separate body, and then put an entity in there with you. So that entity has whole consciousness in there. Only some of yours is in there. So he'll have more control than you will have, and y'all both stuck inside one body, and you'll be aware of that. All right, you'll be aware of that. Okay, so but to get you to this phase, it's the way they get you there. Check this out. They start inviting you to these parties, right? And we all heard about these parties in Hollywood. They started inviting them to these parties. And yeah, they showed you that in Get Out. That's what Key and Peele was trying to say. But Key and Peele is on the MK Ultra. So when you're in the MK Ultra, you have a separate entity inside of you. So you can only say so much because the other entity is in there like, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? So you can only say so much. Cappy Pondexter going through that right now. A lot of celebrities going through that. You'll see him break it. Kanye went through that. He went through that in front of everybody, and people just ain't know it. When he did break his MK Ultra, he got on stage and came out and said, hey, I've been sitting here at the risk of my own life to warn y'all. And he started exposing Beyonce, Jay-Z, everybody. Radio, everything. And then literally when he got off stage, they said he was in a psych ward. You didn't see Kanye for like a year. No, he had broke his MK Ultra. You know what I'm saying? And when he broke it, and that's what they was showing you in Get Out. Like I keep telling y'all in Get Out, when they showed you the black dude at the party, he broke his MK Ultra and he was trying to warn dude. He like, hey, man, bro, you gotta get out, man. This shit ain't right. But because dude had no clue, because look how they had everything set up all nice, but they was controlling people from the inside. That's what Get Out was showing you, man. It was basically Key and Peele crying out to y'all about what they going through in Hollywood, and without not being able to say it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a real thing. You know what I'm saying? But you got to understand how they get them there. Like they start inviting them to these parties, right? They start inviting them to these parties, man. And when they start inviting them to these parties, it actually starts before the parties. They start by first, like with gods, they start sending these different women at you. All right? They start sending all type of women at you. And that's why in my lecture last night I was talking about sexual energy exchange, because they do this in Hollywood. Like they'll start sending all these different women at the guys, right? And he not aware that when he stick his dick in her, that, or when he have sex with her, that, you know, she can transfer a whole spiritual force into his penis through her vagina. He not aware of that. So guess what? They sending all these different women that are on a certain energetic frequency that are basically transporters. So they literally only use these women to lure the gods in when they come into Hollywood, right? And these are beautiful women, beautiful women that they know motherfuckers want to have sex with, right? And they start sending them at them in different ways, though. They don't send them all at once. They send them in different ways. So it comes off like it's a natural thing. He thinking he going all over the planet, and he just running across all these bad women that's showing up in his hotel room and his lobbies and his stuff like that. And these are transported. So these are actually entities that are just hosting a body just to transport more negative entities. All right? So these are hostesses. These are like pregnant. Imagine like a pregnant devil. She's a pregnant devil, and she's pregnant with more demonic entities, right? So they'll send these transporters. These are basically women that have been already sold out years ago to Hollywood. So they just using them just for this. All right? And now they having sex with all these different women, right? And every time they have sex with them, or these different women, they slowly losing a part of their soul, so they're weakening their aura field, weakening. Now, as they weaken the aura field, now you're weak enough to start inviting you to these parties. You go to these parties, normally you wouldn't even want to stay there, but they've been using these different women to gnaw off of his aura through sex for the last 6 months. They do the same thing with the females in Hollywood. All right? They do the same thing. All right? And after your aura's been gnawed on, all right? Now they invite you to these parties. And they start inviting them to these parties. And these parties got sex rooms in them, but then they got these fun rooms. All right? So these fun rooms got all type of shit in there, y'all. Like Okay, so the sex rooms, you got options. You got the sex rooms, you got the fun rooms. So these sex rooms at these parties in Hollywood, these sex rooms is the rooms that like Cat Williams was talking about in his stand up. You know, when they in there and they, you know, they doing all different type of things. You know what I'm saying? Certain, participating in all different type of sex rituals. You know what I'm saying? Man with man, women with women, man with child with children. They doing it with children, like not just like homosexual activities. Nah, they in there with like grown men with kids, grown women with kids, grown men with grown man, grown women with grown women, like all out recklessness. You get what I'm saying? With kids as young as 5 in these parties. You know what I'm saying? Now because it's a part of sex rituals that they believe in, right? Okay, now they like to do buck breaking with the guys that they bring in Hollywood. So they like to make them go through them sex rooms so they can break them in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the orgy parties, but they want to break them in though, like, cause you know, buck breaking is something that they always did they've been practicing that amongst us since the physical slavery days. Like the slave master is something that's kept quiet, but it's real. Like the slave master, you can look it up. The slave masters used to go and they used to go in the. They always talk about the women getting raped, but they didn't just rape our women. They used to go and rape the man too. All right, so it was called buck breaking. All right, they would go rape the man. They would go rape the male in front of his wife. They would go rape the. They would go like say you a family. You a 30-year-old guy, 30-year-old goddess. We know time not real, but let's just use an example. All right. 30-year-old guy, 30-year-old goddess. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, the slave master come in and rape your 8-year-old son in front of you. You know what I'm saying? In front of the mom in front of the mom and the father would rape the 8-year-old son, the 9-year-old son, yes. And then would turn around and rape the father in front of the mom. Yes. Like they would do all that. It's called buck breaking. Okay, so doing that was a way to get our women to not respect us and to kill the respect, you know, for us, which it did play a part in that. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of our goddesses went in fear when that was going on. Like, how can we? They created us to protect them, and then when shit like that was happening, you know, it's like, damn, okay, how can I still respect and trust my protector to protect me when I just witnessed him get fucked in the ass in front of me? You know what I'm saying? And imagine the psychological effect that has on a father when he got to watch his son get raped in front of him. And then he got to turn around and get raped. Yeah, they did all this. It was called buck breaking. Now, this practice, they still do in Hollywood to this day. You know what I'm saying? Anybody coming up in there, you know, this buck breaking. So they take them through these fun rooms. And then with the goddesses, that's what the Me Too movement ain't even really touch on what they really do. It was like a light little over what they do. You know, that little Me Too movement was some little, and that was all a front. That was just to try to act like they was disclosing some shit that go on in Hollywood, and that if it did come out, something would happen to them. That was all fake. That was all for that wasn't nothing. Because what's really going on, they ain't never put out there, but it's coming out now. You know what I'm saying? This is all rolling downhill now. You feel me? Women in these different men they sent their way. All right, and then you know when they get them in these fun rooms, they like to do the casting couches. All right, so the casting couches, like, do you know how many, like, you know all the little porn stars that we see in porno? A lot of them have been kidnapped. These are women that have been kidnapped and drugged into, and they be drugged up doing them flicks, man. You know what I'm saying? Conscious replays. Like they do it with the porn stars too. A lot of them women been kidnapped since they was little girls. You know what I'm saying? You be wondering like how the fuck could she sit here and suck 10 dicks like that at one time? Like y'all never wondered that? I have. I didn't see the flick and be like, how the fuck can she sit here have a dick in her coochie, her ass, in her mouth, and a dick in each hand and want more dick? That's not normal. I don't give a fuck how much acting you got going on. How do she even? A lot of them be drugged up, and they've been drugged up and trained that way, and been brought up through sex trafficking, and it's sad. You know what I'm saying? It's sad. Like to think that like all the porn stars, we thinking these regular people that grew up and just decided to jump in that shit. Yeah, you got some that grow up and they do go in that shit, but majority of them was kidnapped, sex trafficked. grew up in the shit. You know what I'm saying? And you wondering like, how is she sitting there? You know what I'm saying? How is she sitting there with 30 dicks lined up, ready to go? You know what I'm saying? Like how? Like who can act out such a scene? You know what I'm saying? Because I heard they don't even get paid like that. So who can act out such a scene? You know what I'm saying? Who has the heart to take on 30 dicks like that? You know what I'm saying? And you ready for more? Like, no, that ain't natural. You know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't natural. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never, like, when I was watching porn, I could never watch that type of shit. Because it didn't arouse me or nothing. You know, it was a stupid to me. Like, how the fuck? That ain't cool. How you cool with that? You know what I'm saying? That is not cool, though. Now you going too far. You feel me? You done went too far on this motherfucker. You like enough is enough around this motherfucker. Like, we ain't finna. I don't even want to see all them joints on the screen. Like, that's too many joints for me. So you really lost me. It's too many joints on the screen. You hear me? Like, I ain't finna be one body, 30 joints. I'm cool. Like, you be like, I'm good off that. Y'all, I'm just being real. Y'all know my throat chakra open, but I'm just saying we just never asked them questions. And this is because a lot of these women, I'm not laughing at the women. I'm laughing at, y'all know we laughing at. But I'm saying, like, a lot of them, they grew up in sex trafficking. And it's sad. You know what I'm saying? It's more sad than anything. But it's like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Like, and then like I say, it's at these parties. You see? Because cat ain't get deep enough. We gonna get deeper with these parties. See, listen, man. Do y'all know at these parties, man? Like, no lie. They got the sex room, and in there, like I say, they got the casting couches in there, everything. Like, so if you ever seen the porno, look, the pornos where they call like casting calls or some shit on Pornhub and all that shit like that. If you've ever seen that, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, everything they put in those flicks, they do to them at these parties, y'all. That's the point I'm trying to make, nigga. You hear me? Like, it ain't just no flick. Like, I'm talking about the most extremist of shit, nigga. No, this ain't no regular shit. Nah, this ain't no, nah, they just in there having a train. They just in there. No, this some extreme, like I say, the shit you see them, all them extreme, even the bestiality shit, like when they be fucking horses, like, they be making them do that, y'all. You hear me? They be making them do that, y'all. Y'all hear me? Like, nah, on some real shit. Like, I know too many people in Hollywood. I'm trying to tell you, I can't say their name because, they didn't sign contracts and they in shit. You feel me? And I know they kill their family and shit. So I ain't, I ain't in there. I ain't in that though. I don't owe Satan nothing. He can't come collect over here. I can say this type of shit. They can't. You know what I'm saying? I told him to him, like, listen, man, ain't no running back to the light. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't run back to the light. You gotta face what you did. You know what I'm saying? I be real with him too, y'all. Not telling like I can't help y'all. I'll listen to you. You know what I'm saying? I'll listen. You hear me? And I'll warn others. That way, if you want to help the world that way, but I can't give you no pointers, and I can't help you. I can't intervene. And you gotta deal with, you know what I'm saying, what with them contracts. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying, like, but it starts with the gnawing of the soul, y'all. And they get to these parties and you got all the humiliation rituals going on. That's just the fun room. But no, when you get to the next room, which is this is the room where they making them like eat all type of stuff. You hear me? Like, they got like toes, fingers, legs, elbows, and everything on the table. Y'all hear me? I'm serious. Listen up. That was now we was just talking about the sex room. Now we talking about the fun room. All right. Somebody said hostile. It's worse than hostile. Hostile and all that shit they do that in real life. That come from real life.